Hey ladies, let's just say these videos actually are working because I am reading like an MFer. Okay, so starting out, I read, actually after I did my video last night, I did some reading and I read 143 pages, which made me finish Elena knows. So what I knew, it was a mystery, that's all. But now, let me explain it to you. This is a story of a woman who is found dead, hung in a church, and everyone is convinced it is a suicide, but her mother refuses to believe that. And though she has an illness that really gets in the way, she's on a journey to call it a debt so this person can help her, solve this mystery. And on the surface, this is a mystery, but at its core, it is a deep and complex and disturbing story about motherhood and the relationship between a mother and a daughter, and illness and old age and the burden of being a caretaker, abortion, and like what extent do women have control over their own bodies, and the very human response to that lack of autonomy. You wouldn't think you could put that in 143 pages, but Claudia did it. So this book, it was sort of like my response to watching After Sun, where I all the way through watching that movie, I was totally chill, but then at the end I was like, because after I finished this, I just like was trying to go to bed, and I was laying in bed looking at the ceiling as my Achievement Hunter video was playing in the background, and I was like genuinely just nauseous. I like couldn't stop thinking about it because it's just so rough, because she has Parkinson's, and like I think the writing does a really good job at like emphasizing the amount of effort and mental preparation it takes to live one day with this disease. And it's a constant, like, she knows what she needs to do, but her body refuses to cooperate, and she just can't. Woof. And there's like parallels between like being a caretaker and being the care receiver, and both seemingly without a body and an identity, and like the obligations of being a child. And parents, I'm sure you guys know, parents who believe they understand their kid on a fundamental level just because they are their kid. And Elena goes on this very painful path of realizing, actually, she doesn't know shit. And I thought it was actually very good. I mean, pretty early on I realized there is no mystery here. I feel like that's kind of, I don't know, misleading isn't the right word, but maybe. I mean, not the mystery of like her daughter's death, but I suppose the mystery of like, how did we get here? I feel like this is a good short lit fic novel. There's a movie. I don't know if it's good. I guess we'll find out. Also, love this cover, by the way. We're kind of having a yellow day, as you'll see in the next book. I don't know what I would rate this. I liked it. And I felt, even though, like I showed you yesterday, it's just like walls of text, I found that it was a very quick read. I mean, I read it in one sitting, so it's good. maybe like a 3.75. I think that's a cute amount. Yeah, horrifying. So we got that, and I need to think a bit more about it and like write more thoughts, because again, that's a book for book club. So I probably have more to say about it, but that is all I have currently. And then today I read 245 pages, which made me complete Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. And going into this, I literally had no fucking idea what it was about. I literally had no clue. I just know people really like it, and she's like an icon or whatever. That's as much as I knew. But now I know, after reading it, what's it about. So it is a story about this guy named Piranesi, and he is in this place where architecture and the ocean are sort of muddled together. It's sort of a labyrinth of sorts, and his entire existence is just to explore it and to document it. And it's told through journal entries. And this one was good. It's very quick. It's very fun. Well, very fun. Maybe I wouldn't say that. It's fun. I felt like it gives you sort of at first I thought like it gives you like the perfect amount of information, because it sort of gives you the ability to fill in the blanks of like what this, they call it like the house, looks like. And I believe like that lack of information, or like sort of the middle ground, was intentional to make the place seem a bit more surreal, and maybe over explaining it would spoil it. And honestly, I wish it kind of gave a bit more, but I suppose its main theme is to find, enjoyment in the ordinary, and to, take life as it is and love what you have. So this house being quite simple, maybe that was intentional. Anyway, this one was also, I would say, quiet. Unlike the quiet in like This Is Happiness, the quiet here is just unsettling. Just the entire time, because it's just like this guy. But actually, there's not just this guy. There's also another person who's there and trying to find like this secret knowledge. And he's only there like twice a week for some reason. And Piranesi just like hangs out with him and talks to him, and they're like sort of like colleagues. But the further you go into the story, the further Piranesi sees that things aren't really the way it seems, and the sort of truth unfolds the further he, explores. In this like big ass house, there are statues, and you know me, I love statues, and I think having statues here is a really fun way to connect to the story, because the story is about like memory and identity and reality and art. So having statues just like thrown everywhere, they're fucking everywhere, I think that is very good. I love statues, they're awesome. And Piranesi, this whole book was inspired by etchings done by Giovanni Battista Piranesi. I think he just went by Piranesi, and he was an Italian classical archaeologist, an architect, and an artist. And these etchings were something in Italian, but I think they were often translated as imaginary prisons. And all of these etchings depicted like a subterranean labyrinthine. Do you guys say labyrinthine or labyrinthine? to type in the comments how you pronounce it. Of labyrinthine vaults that aren't as obvious in size, but when you pay attention to how many fucking stairs there are, you get a nice idea of the scale of these prisons. And in these etchings, the use of light and shadows is super good and it's very striking. So I'd recommend, if you don't already know these pieces. I'm pretty sure I've seen these pieces before, but I never really put a name to them. I feel like maybe if you see them, you'll know at least one of them, because I think there was 16 in total. I don't know if anyone knows why he made them. People have said they're a critique on the Italian government, and some say he had mental problems and hallucinated them and just recreated them. Others just think he was on drugs. But they're pretty cool. Also, fun fact, the real Piranesi was buried at a church that he helped restore. So, cute. Piranesi, done. Oh, I don't know I'd give that one either. Probably also a 3.75, because I thought maybe a 3.5. I don't know. I feel like it could have delved a little bit deeper into some themes. But I suppose it's sort of a, it's okay to be simple sometimes. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So that would mean, since my last video, I read 388 pages. I'm zooming. Okay, next up on thy docket for Elena Knows was these 2 weeks for our book club, but the month of October, we will be reading just one book that month, allegedly, because it will still be Hispanic Heritage Month. We chose another Hispanic author, which, buckle in, Shadow of the Wind, which I've read, so this will be a reread. I read this when I was 16, and I loved it so much. This was one of those books where it really got me into literature, I suppose. I haven't read much up to that point, and I feel like this was my first adult novel, and I'm okay, this has changed me fundamentally as a person. But again, I haven't read it since I was 16, so I could read this and think it is totally dog trash, and I'm so scared. I am so scared. Jenny has tried to read this multiple times, and on this, but she was open to trying it again, because I think she tried to read it a bit ago, so she was I will, I'd like to retry it. And she got not even 100 pages in, and she's I can't do this. And every time I'd bring it up, she would just sigh, and she's I just can't do it. And maybe that's just her. I hope I don't feel that way, because that would destroy me, considering how many copies I have of this book. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7. I am the capitalism that people are worried about. I'm literally the consumer. How horrible is that? Just how horrible. But I'm excited. This is 500 pages or something like that, so this is going to take me a little bit, so I guess I'll keep you updated on my reading. I don't know if this is what I'm going to start first, because we get to spin the wheel again. Hoorah. And I guess a little bit more context on the wheel, because I guess I didn't really, delve too deep on why I chose the books that I did. I basically just chose the ones that I really want to read, as well as the ones that I just have, because I'm trying not to buy more books, because that is an issue. So just books that I really want to read, and the ones that I have, and they're not just classics. I guess I just talked about classics in the first one, but there are obviously contemporary ones because it goes from 1900 to, today. And the contemporary ones, again, are just ones that I've been meaning to read. And the classics also are just like, everyone reads these. And I suppose I need to read those to get to, my more niche reading. So a lot of them are like, old white men. I really tried. If there was a woman, I'd be like, woman, woman author. But there's so many books that I want to read that are by men. Ew. So hopefully that gives you a bit more context on why I chose the books that I did. Okay. Let's spin the wheel. I'm so excited. I'm also scared because, Shadow of the Wind is long, and there are a couple of books that I have on this list that I'm sort of dreading just because they are so long. So, oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay. I'm gonna spin the wheel. Let's go. Okay, we're spinning. We're spinning. We're spinning. Oh, I'm so scared. I'm dreading. Why is it another one from the 2000s? Give me a classic. There's like almost 150 of, wait, 100, no, 150, 120, whatever. And it's fucking 2018. Just for context, the Piranesi was for year 2020. And this is 2018. We're reading Normal People by Sally Rooney. The Irish. Man, this is a very Irish, reading month with This Is Happiness. And now we'll have Sally Rooney. Apparently this is a sad one. And apparently people fucking hate her because she doesn't use quotation marks. And I think people need to get the fuck over themselves. Well, I guess I don't know yet because I haven't read it. But fucking Cormac McCarthy is also like that. It's just like a, style thing. I think it's kind of cute and people need to shut the hell up. Okay, I'm probably going to read Sally Rooney first. Because, damn, she's been on my list for a long time. I think I have Normal People as well as... Oh, fuck. What is it called? I can't see. I can't see up there. I can't remember. I think I have another one by her. So, I suppose if I like this one, I'll read the other one. She has a couple. I think Sue has read one. I think she read Beautiful People, or Beautiful, wait, fuck, I'm mixing all her books up. Whatever the one with Beautiful in the title. And she was like, I don't like this book. Oh my god, it's 20 minutes long. I'm sorry, guys. She didn't like that one as much because, there was, like, drugs and sex or whatever. So, I think some of her books are like that. So I guess, we'll find out. Okay, yippee. Sorry this is 20 minutes long. Just put me on 2 times speed. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.